Welcome to another episode of Racing Education, the series that aims to open the doors on the incredible sport of horse racing. Now, jockeys push their bodies to the max when it comes to being the best in their sport, but as incredible as these athletes are, they do sometimes break.
And stumbles at the last and is unseated, Brendan Powell.
Oh, and Rillo's gone! Crashing for Harry
Quintara, and running around, and Call Me Harry has unseated the rider.
And to find out how they recover, we've popped along here to Jackberry House in Malton, one of 3 nationwide injured Jockey Fund facilities that helps with rehab and fitness. Now, in this special episode, as well as speaking to the staff here at Jackberry House about the incredible work the Injured Jockey Fund do, we'll also be following currently injured jockey Joanna Mason, who has a broken ankle that she got in a rather unusual way. Okay, Jo, tell us how you went about breaking your ankle.
So we had a bit of an incident on the gallop. 3 pesky pigeons flew out, and that was it. The horse was gone from underneath me, and so I thought I'd just gone over on my ankle. Ended up coming here. I'm getting ice on it again, and I then got one of the physios to look at it, and they suggested, look, just go for an X-ray. You can rule everything out. But I was like, oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. Like, I think everyone's just been over dramatic. Because it actually was not in any pain, if that makes sense. So yeah, popped off to Malton Hospital, and an X-ray later showed I had a spiral fracture of the distal fibula, so right at the bottom.
Now, since the Injured Jockey Fund was founded back in 1964, they've helped over 1,000 jockeys and their families, as well as paying out more than £20 million in charitable assistance. Jackberry House has a great range of specialist rehabilitation facilities to help the injured jockeys get back up to race fitness. These include a state-of-the-art gym with strength and conditioning coaches, hydrotherapy pool, nutritionists, psychologists, physios, and even respite accommodation available for those receiving extended treatment, all paid for by the Injured Jockeys Fund. And how important do you think a facility like this is for the racing community?
Well, I'm a bit biased, but I think it's vital, really, because especially when you're injured, for the jockeys, you know, their livelihood, their day-to-day routine is completely changed, and some of them might be in with us for a 6-month period if they've had a really significant injury. Often it's a lot shorter than that, but you know, they're relying on us trying to get them back as quick as possible, as fit and strong as possible. So it's finding that balance. But I think if we weren't here to support them in that respect, help give them any sort of pastoral care as well, then I think it would be a lot more challenging for them to get back.
So how long ago was this now?
This was 6 weeks ago yesterday.
6 weeks is quite quick.
Yeah, very quick. Like, it is a non-weight bearing bone as such, but you still have some force that goes through it. So what the physios are doing in there is, you know, getting balance back again. You know, it's been in a boot for 4 weeks, boot and crutches and no pressure on it. So it's kind of getting impact back through the bone. That's what is brilliant for the hydrotherapy pool as well, putting weight on it without overly putting body weight on it, because the water's lifting you. And then I've basically progressed into the gym and doing it with obviously my body weight and doing that.
Obviously, this isn't just a small swimming pool.
No.
What's different about this?
The pool water itself is 29 degrees, and that creates a really nice sort of warm, comfortable, relaxing environment for the muscles and soft tissue, so everything kind of relaxes, switches off, but also there's a lot of hydrostatic pressure, so the pool water itself kind of surrounds any joint or swelling and helps to push any swelling and kind of edema that we might have back out of the system. So in the early stages particularly, that's really good at kind of getting things moving a little bit quicker.
Okay, and we can see on the screen there there's obviously some sort of waterproof treadmill in there?
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, so we've got a treadmill underwater, so we're doing a little bit of backwards walking here at the moment, and we've got 2 angles so we can look at their gait in terms of whether they're moving properly, whether they're using their stride, and whether we can try and cue them to walk a little bit more naturally in there than they are on land. So when the water's at about kind of chest height where it is for Ed at the moment, he's only probably taking about 25-30% of his body weight through his lower limbs, so we're massively offloading those so we can really get things sort of moving more naturally and get them out of bad habits that they might be on land.
Well, we know now from some of the research that the stirrup forces, we know it's about 2.5 to 2.7 times body weight going through a jockey's legs, and that's another reason we use the ISO squat in that position, with a goal to get them at 2.7 and above, because if they've got that level of strength, we know they can then tolerate the demands of the sport. So if you know about the biomechanics and physiological demands of the sport, that can help shape our training interventions. So yeah, we know in races as well, heart rates on average can be above 85%, and then they peak above 90% during a race. What we're going to do is we're going to do an ISO squat at 90 degrees. So it's a very relevant position for jockeys to be in, and we're going to test her leg strength in that. Right, so she's in that nice squat position. I'm going to count her in, and then she's going to drive up against the bar for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and drive. Come on, push, push, push. Keep going, Joe. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and relax. So looking at that trace, I can already tell there's minimal asymmetry there between the two lines. So if we look on here, 1,554 newtons, so that's about 155 kilograms of force, so that equates to nearly 2.7 times her body weight. Well, Joanna, when she's fully fit, would usually get about 30 newtons, so 3 times body weight, so she's now at 2.7. So it's actually saying she's only 4% down from her best.
So how would that sort of force compare to like a normal non-athlete? 3, 2, 1, and drive. Come on, drive, drive, drive. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and relax. Good, good man. Well done. So you're coming out at 19.31, so that's about 1.9 times body weight. Okay. So if you're going to ride, we want to get you up to about that 2.7. Yeah.
In terms of the range of injuries that we're going to treat, we can, again, that can be so varied. We might get sort of multi-trauma, so we can get quite complex things with people having different multi-trauma. So currently we've got a jump jockey who has had a very nasty fracture to his arm, his humerus bone, but he's also injured his foot at the same time. So you're kind of juggling those two, but we can get fractures in the spine, fractures in the lower limb, the upper limb. They can get internal organ damage as well. So it's massive. So you have to be quite a generalist in that respect, that you have to learn to treat a lot of different areas of the body.
Some of them are like road traffic accidents, aren't they? Because they're coming off, you know, horses travelling like 30, 40 mile an hour. Some of them as well, unfortunately, get trampled and crushed, or there's a myriad of different injuries that jockeys can sustain through riding. So we see quite a lot of different injuries, and quite nasty ones at that. It's not just about being biologically healed when you're an athlete, it's about being sort of functionally ready. Sure. Because, you know, they're not just an everyday person who just needs to heal up and then they can just go back to normal activities. We need to ensure that they are strong enough to tolerate the demands of the sport. So, yeah, it's a bit different.
You push your body through everything, you know, and this place is amazing that you're able to do that with one-on-one attention and, you know, 5 days a week. Physio, hydrotherapy, gym sessions.
So Joe, thanks for having us at this amazing facility you've got at Jack Berry House. Can you just tell us then a little bit about the work that is done by the Injured Jockeys Fund?
It looks after jockeys from the start of their career, right through their career as a jockey and obviously beyond, and then it supports the families of jockeys as well. So yeah, from right the way through their whole, you know, riding career and beyond.
So we're really lucky at Jack Berry House. We get to work with such a wide range of individuals. So we've obviously got all the currently licensed jockeys. So anybody in the north of England or Scotland that gets injured and has a licence can come here for their rehabilitation. So we've got all from point-to-point jockeys to champion jockeys, whatever. If they're up in this region, they'll come here.
It's all for, you know, not just jockeys, it's people within racing who say have had falls, riding out and stuff. It's for them as well. They have some amazing elderly community here that have been involved in racing over the years, and they come here and they do a fitness class. You know, some of them are 90 years old. Wow. And it is brilliant. They all get together and they just make you so happy. And it's brilliant what they do here.
The pool particularly, I think, is a really big asset for us because we can, like I say, really get them working normally and moving normally at a really early stage. You know, the jockeys always want to be back a lot quicker than they actually probably should be. So that's our job really, is to accelerate things as much as possible, and that's where I suppose that's our little niche, but also the pool's really handy for that.
We want to do the best for the guys and girls, you know, who are injured, and there's outside pressures, you know, from trainers and owners and agents and things of that nature. So we have to obviously, you know, take that into consideration. But ultimately, we won't send an athlete back unless we think they're safe to do so in terms of their functional competencies. Okay. That's our duty, you know. So yeah.
Injury is an opportunity to come back fitter and better than before, and I think that's. I think quite a lot of the jockeys you see go back and perhaps ride a winner fairly quickly and thank these wonderful facilities for what they've done for them.
Do you enjoy the job?
Yeah, I love my job. I hope it comes across to my patients as well, but yeah, I feel so lucky to work here, and we love when you've got somebody that's especially been off for a long time or has been a tricky rehab. When we get them back and they have their first win, and we're always watching, keeping an eye on how they're getting on, but we know how tough it's been for them to get back. So yeah, that's really rewarding.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great. It's great, obviously, to work with athletes that want to get back to their sport, and it's really good satisfaction when we see them every day in here working really hard, obviously behind the scenes, and to see them back, obviously, riding and doing what they love, it's brilliant. Obviously want to see them in a winning enclosure as well, so yeah.
They do an amazing job, the Injured Jockeys Fund, and I can say after now 2 injuries, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them.
Just held on by a neck from Sisyphus straight.